All right, well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dowell here. Hey, we all know that this first 10 months of the Biden administration has been the worst 10 months in American history concerning someone who's playing president. It's really sad. But we do have a victory here, because I remember, and people are posting them left and right about the videos that Fauci, Harris, Pelosi, Biden, all of them. No, we cannot mandate vaccines. We can't mandate, we can't do this, can't do that, can't do that, can't do this, can't. As soon as they get in office, what do? As a matter of fact, there's a bunch of videos circulating that every single time that Joe Biden opens up his mouth, he's lying, and he's literally caught in them. Of course, it ain't no surprise to none of us who actually know the way a real true politician is. But the appeals court blocked Joe Biden's mandate. So it looks like January the 4th is not going to be D-Day. Think about this for a second. Even after federal court turns around and says that it is stalled, we can't go forward with it right now, the Biden administration still told the people, go forward with it, don't worry about them. Can you believe this vindictive, obstinate? It's unreal. That's basically what it is. I'll tell you what's disturbing about all this, though, is we live in a country where these people believe that they are lords, where they believe that they are dictators and Caesars and kings over us. And they think that they know what's best for us. I mean, how many times have we seen this administration insulting us as the American people? Now, sad part about it is even the Democrats are jumping ship. So what can you do about it? Listen, if anybody today says that they can't find work, they're lying to you. If anybody says that they cannot find any work in the United States of America, they're lying to you, because businesses have upped the ante on pay like you wouldn't believe, and they didn't have to fight over it. I had a buddy of mine who sent me a picture of Taco Bell down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, starting off hiring people at $18 an hour. I'm just giving you an example. If you want to work, you can work. The part is, there's another sign right there, now hiring. Everybody's hiring, but nobody wants to work. Now you think about this. They've done turned around and pulled out all these mandates, and they think that they thought that they could control the American spirit. And just the other day, I got a sister that's a nurse up in Michigan. And of course, you know, what do they want? They want vaccination exemption letters. You know, you can't work here unless you got a religious exemption letter or you've been vaccinated, and if you do, you got to go through all these stipulations by wearing masks and all this other stuff. Check this out. So she says, well, don't worry about it. I'm turning in my resignation. As of the end of December, I'm no longer going to be working for this particular healthcare facility. And you know what they did? They begged her to not quit and to stay on. But we are short-staffed. Wait a minute, first of all, if you're short-staffed, that's none of my sister's business. Go find somebody. See, the problem now is that they thought they could bully the American people, and it's backfiring on them. And they begged her if she could just stay on call. I mean, they now all of a sudden they start giving her all these stipulations, all these ultimatums, all these concessions. And now they're bending over backwards to do what they can to try to keep her, regardless of what the company is mandating. I said, you cannot make this stuff up. Not only is it in that place, but I got another sister that's a nurse down in Houston, Texas. Now I'm talking about sisters, brothers and sisters. I'm talking about brothers and sisters that are in, or maybe sisters that are in the Most High, in the assembly, all right? Same thing. They want to have a board. They had every religious guru that you could think up in there, and they thought that they could catch her at her words, talking about, well, you did receive a vaccine here and you received a vaccine there, and she had her ducks in order. And you know what it was? She says, yeah, I went and I researched the vaccines and everything's unclean. I asked them to submit me another one without all this other garbage and junk in it, and I'll be more than happy to take it. And see, she had her ducks in order, and they had nothing to say. They had a Jewish rabbi, they had a Baptist up there, they had quite a few people. And because she was informed and knew what the scripture says, and not only that, but living it, they had nothing to say. They had to comply. But not only if they didn't want to comply, guess what? She could be a stay-at-home mom. See, that is now guess what? Who has the leverage today? All the nurses in the healthcare has the leverage, because right now, I got a brother that's a nurse down in Vanderbilt, and they are sincerely overworked, literally overworked. And I'm getting the inside scoop on the healthcare profession left and right, because there's a lot of people in the ministry that is in the healthcare. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to believe, but we have doctors in this ministry. We have attorneys in this ministry. We have nurses in this ministry, healthcare providers. We have stay-at-home moms, and we everything you can think of, professionals, business owners, you can think of, we have it in this ministry. So I pretty much know what's going on from one end of this country to the next and what's happening. And you know what's funny to me, though? What's funny to me is that the system pushes extremely hard. And when the people say, you know what? No big deal. I can go home. Now, the reason why the people at Straitway can say no big deal, they can go home, because those who've been listening to me, especially for 20 years plus or 10 years plus, when I told them about this time, and I've been warning the whole general public, all you got to do is go back and look in the archives. I've been warning the whole general public, I cannot tell you for how many years, that such a time as this. I even talked about this right here that's happening. Right now, I talked about it no more than 4 years ago. Couldn't have been no more than 4 to 6 years ago. I've got a video up where I actually talked about this, laid it to the line, and told you what was going to happen. What happened is that these people prepared. And they've got their homestead, they got the bills paid off, they learn how to live within their means, they follow the instructions that this pastor told them to. So if in case a business or somebody think they can muscle and bully and think you can actually tell the American people what they're gonna do and not do, they're in a position to say, you know what, I quit. Isn't that, see, that's true power right there, when you don't live above your means. That's true power right there, when you don't sit up there and get into this credit-based system and hock yourself into credit so much that you are forced to get up and go to work every single morning. That's how beautiful this is when you learn how to do this. And you can find out more than anything, if you learn how to do this, that one income is more than sufficient in a house. You just got to have the discipline to be able to see this thing through. Now our people are empowered, and they're telling the truth. They can get off the job and still be fine, and function fine. Isn't that amazing to be in that kind of position? But see, now everything is turning. Now, personally, I think this thing go to Supreme Court unless the Supreme Court is done out of their mind, because we all know that mandates are unconstitutional. It's just not the American way. But I tell you right now, the federal court has done knocked down Biden's mandates. The Court of Appeals done knocked it down, and then the next court from that level is the Supreme Court. So no, it's not looking good for them. But I tell you what, it's amazing to me how they're so concerned about public health, but they're not concerned about public hunger. You know, the mental gymnastics that take place in the daytime and hour we live, the stage playing, it really truly is appalling to me. I cannot even express enough how bad it is that today we are lacking in the ability to have discernment and to think ahead of time. It's utterly remarkable and amazing to me. I can only hope that these videos that I'm making, that in some way, somehow, that they're stimulating thought and they're causing you to change course so that you don't ever get caught. I'm going to say this and be pure. With your pants down. Because it's obvious that there's an America that we have in our hearts that they don't have. And here we are now, day 72. where Americans, we just got finished celebrating Veterans Day, and we still have Americans in captivity over in Afghanistan. And then, you know, the sad part about it is the Taliban, Newsmax just got to finish reporting this, the Taliban is having parades, going down the streets with our MRADs, with all of our equipment. This administration armed our enemies with all of our taxpayer hard-earned working dollars and gave them all the modern day equipment that they need in order to defend themselves. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And of course, what happened to news? The only news media I know that's not turned a page on that is Newsmax, The Hill, and Fox News. They're keeping it to the grindstone. They ain't compromised. They're telling people straight up. See, American people have this uncanny ability to forget, but we don't need to forget. Listen, we've got Americans that this administration had no trouble, no problem whatsoever at all, leaving them abandoned in a third world country, war-torn. And we armed our enemies. You can't put it no other way. We literally armed our enemies with the best equipment militarily that you could have today. And now they're parading like they've gotten a victory and stuff, and they just got finished celebrating the graduation of 250 more Afghan soldiers. I mean, they are doing it up. What a spit. What a dishonor and disrespect. What a slap in the face to all the veterans that have given their lives for this so-called quote-unquote war on terror. Only to have this spiritually retarded administration to arm our enemies. None of them soldiers, I'm going to tell you right now, I know our soldiers think. There's not a soldier in the United States military that has one lick of honor or respect for Joe Biden. None whatsoever at all. I know I damn sure would, and I would have been vocal about it too. It's sad where we're at right now. I'm going to give you the blueprint again in a nutshell, and then we can talk about it a little bit later. Forget about this country. This country don't give a damn about you. It don't care nothing about you. You preserve yourself and those who you are mutually assisting with, those that are with you, and you know they're with you. And if they're not with you, then you break off them relationships real fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because we are in preservation mode right now. And if you don't comprehend and understand it, you better get it. Because I tell you, when you start having people want to come and take what you have, you're going to wish you had listened to Pastor Dowell. I promise you that. But don't let it get to that point. Take wise counsel, take heed to it, and preserve yourself and save yourself. Because America damn sure ain't going to do it for you. Now they don't even have enough police to police. They don't have enough police to police the cities nowadays. Now check this out. Chicago is a gun-free zone. 1,550 people have died on the streets in Illinois this year. And a little bitty small state like Maine, where people can open carry, constitutional carry, is one of the, well, look at this, one of the safest states in the United States of America. And people can carry guns at will. You tell me what the philosophy is. And you know what else is happening? I'm done on this. People are taking my advice. When I've been telling people to move out of New York, move out of Illinois, move out of California, get out of Washington. And you know what? They are doing it. And people by the groves are doing it. Matter of fact, California just lost 2 electoral seats. You think about that. And people are going to continue to keep making the exodus. So the people that did get fired in the medical profession in certain states and stuff where they thought they could bully them, all they did was just move to the South to where they have more liberty and more freedom. And they don't have to worry about being bullied and don't have to worry about being fired. Because, you know, this is the Bible Belt we live in over here. And as the old saying goes, yeah, we damn so right. We do. We cling to our guns and our Bible. Sure do. That's pure religion.